Marketing That Works is the podcast for business owners who want to move their brand forward so that they can bring in more sales and clients. I'm Danielle Harris, and I'm bringing you what I know from more than 12 years of experience in traditional and online marketing. I have created marketing strategies for businesses of all sizes, from multi-million-dollar corporations to early-stage online businesses. Remember, some marketers chase fads. I believe in mastering the fundamentals.
The world is on fire, but you're still expected to show up and market your business. How? How exactly are you supposed to do that? And that's exactly what I want to talk about today, because it feels like more often than not that there is something going on that just makes sending an email feel like the least important thing ever. And whether it's the news of the world or family situations or anything in between, it just feels like that's not the most urgent, that's not the most important thing that's weighing on my mind right now. But at the same time, when your business is your main source of income, or you're trying to grow it to become your main source, that email, that IG post, that reel, it is important to maintain your livelihood. So let's talk about how exactly to keep up marketing your business when it literally feels like the least important thing. So how exactly do you market your business when it feels like the world is on fire? At first, you might not market. I'm going to be completely honest. You might take some time off when it feels like the world is going under, policies are attacking your core values, your family feels like they aren't safe. Yeah, sending that post, posting on LinkedIn, sending that reel, that might not be the highest priority for you. And I totally get that. And I want you to be okay with that. That's going to be the first step, is realizing that when you are in an active survival type mode, you are going to do the things that are going to keep you safe, number one. Your physical and mental health are going to impact your ability to actively run your business. And so you need to take care of that first and foremost. Get the help and support that you need, whether it is you need to talk with a therapist, whether it is you need to get supported by your community. Those are the things that you need to take care of and be on top of first and foremost. Full stop. But if you are a person whose primary income is their business, and you realize that you still need to show up and market and grow your business so you can get more clients, even when the state of the world is the state of the world, you're thinking, how do I go through and balance that when it feels like the last thing I want to do? And I want to say that a lot of times it feels like the last thing you want to do because you're not connecting the work that you're doing, that marketing that you're doing, to being of any help to the state of the world, of making things better. You're viewing it as just another task that has to be done. And to be totally fair, writing an email, creating a caption, you're just like, yeah, it's another task on the list of things that need to be done. And I get that, and that's fair. But the best way to view it is, how does you actively working in your business align with the values that you have? How is this going to be helpful? If you aren't able to connect that, then yeah, it's going to be impossible for you to market and grow your business while the world's on fire. It's just not going to happen because you're just like, there's no point. But find the point. I know that I have worked with a lot of people who have had similar situations where they're just like, it feels like everything's so rough, everything's so tough, I can't do this. But the moment they're able to see that, actually, yes, things are rough right now. I think that things are just in a terrible state. But I can see how this business of mine that I'm growing, the work that I'm doing, it can make things a little bit better. Now, that doesn't mean that they're doing that same amped up, ramped up marketing plan that they had before the world was on fire, but it does give them enough motivation to be able to go forward. One of the things that I've been having conversations with, some of the things that I've realized for myself, is that when you are clear about your business goals and your values, being able to step up in times that are uncertain, times that feel heavy, you're able to go through and walk with your purpose. And so one of the big things, I always recommend taking a deep breath, because that's it's an inside joke with a couple of my clients in particular, but that just really helps you to ground and center. But the next thing is, how is what your business is doing connected to a greater sense of purpose? Like I said, I remember talking to several business friends, and they were just like, the best way to really support and be there for my family and my community is to make sure that my business is successful. And I had very similar thoughts. Like, they were saying, like, if a family needs to move, having a successful business is going to make sure that I have the resources to make that happen. Having a thriving business means that, I can make bigger donations. Having a thriving business means that I can just help more people. And when you're really tapped into that, being able to show up for your business is easier. I'm not going to say that it's easy, because when it's times are trying, it is going to be hard. But when you feel like, okay, I do want to, but you're struggling with how to show up and how to balance all of that, being tapped into your reasons why is going to make it easier. I know that for me in particular, I had several friends check in on me back in November saying like, oh, how are things going? How are you able to show up? And I was just like, you know what? It made me abundantly clear that like I need to show up. Like, the best thing that I can do is to show up and help more people have thriving businesses. Like, that's what needs to happen as of right now. That's my mission. That's my goal. My thing has always been like, I'm good at helping other people. And so that's what I'm going to continue to do. That's the best thing that I can do for my people, for my community, specifically as a Black woman who helps primarily Black and people of color owned businesses. Like, that's the best thing that I can do to show up for people and to help them make a big impact. All the people that I know that I work with, they're so tapped into their communities. They are so connected to the people that they want to help. And if I can help them to better share their story, to help get them into bigger, larger platforms so that they can help and serve more people, that is something that I want to put my time and my energy towards. That's going to be worth it for me. And so you need to tap into what's your reason why. Why are you able to still do the work that you do, even when it feels like everything is on fire, when it still feels like, is this worth it? What is your tapped in reason as to, yep, like, this is why I'm going to still get up and do this work. I might not be up and operating at 100%, but I am going to show up. What is that reason for you? Tap into those values. I think that is so, so important for anyone who's running a business, even during trying times when it's like, how can I send another email? How can I put another post out? You need to be really tapped in to those values that you have. So we talked about like your personal values and how your business can, growing your business can help with that. But I think you also need to think about how your business itself helps with that. And so I talked about, like, me, I want to make sure that I'm helping other, Black owned, minority owned, women owned businesses are really being able to put themselves out there. But then I also think about like, okay, how does my business as itself do that? And so one of the things that I think about, like, who are the people that I'm working with? Who are the people that I'm able to donate my proceeds and profits to? Like, I have a line item that's specifically for philanthropy on my line item of budgets. And so when things are going through, I'm able to say like, okay, this is my profit line and this is how much money can go towards philanthropic activities. Like, how is my business going to be an active part of that? How can you say that me doing this work is doing something that's even bigger? Being able to be tapped into that is going to be so important for you as well, to be able to say, if the world is on fire, at least I'm a person who's helping to put some of that fire out. I have a business friend, and she was just like, yeah, I'm donating some of my proceeds to relief efforts. This is how my business can be of impact. I have another friend that's just like, I know that I'm growing my business so that if my family ends up in some type of trouble, like, that's able to sponsor some of the aid that they will need. How is your business going to do that? Not just on a personal level, but like on that business level. How is it able to do that? And I think when you're able to see how you can be part of a solution, like, that's going to make it so much more impactful. I think a lot of times we feel as if the world is on fire and there is nothing that you can do about it. And for a lot of instances, there are a lot of things that are outside of your control. There are a lot of things that you have no say in, but there are a lot of things that you can't control. And I know a lot of times when things feel like they are on fire, the first instinct is to want to give up and throw your hands and just say, I'm over it, I'm done. And I've heard that a lot, particularly for Black women. And I think that is honestly 100% your right to do. But I also feel like the best way to feel as if you are doing what needs to be done for yourself and to stop feeling as hopeless is to realize that you have power, and taking active ownership of that is the fastest way to feel like, all right, everything around me might be on fire, but this corner, I've got this corner. I have this section. This area is not on fire. I have control over this. These are the things that I'm going to actively do. This is how I can at least help my people, the people that I care about, the causes that I care about. This is what I'm going to do. Because you can't firefight the whole world, but you can take an active participation point in your world, the things that are going around and happening around you. And that leads me into my last point of surrounding yourself with people who remind you of your vision and help you take time to reset and help you to take control of the world that you want to create. I think a lot of times when we feel as if the world's on fire and we have to market our businesses, and we have to do all these things, we feel very much alone. That is a one-person game. And I think a lot of business ownership and entrepreneurship feels very solo. Feels very, it's just me doing this. And even if you do have a team, it's just like, but I'm the one at the top. I'm the one making all these top level decisions, and I'm alone. And I think that the sooner that you're able to be in community with other people who are actively within that fight, you're able to restore each other. You're able to have renewed hope in each other. And when you feel like there's just so much going on, there are other people that are able to help you fill your cup back up, to remind you to fill your cup back up, and you're able to pour into others when they are feeling the same. I know that personally, when I'm able to be surrounded by people who are going to lovingly check me and say, like, what are you doing, Danielle? How are you taking care of yourself? How are you being the person that you say that you want to be? I feel better. I feel better when I'm being in love checked. I feel better when I am being told, like, this is the standard that you want to have. Is this still what you want? Okay, how can you create this? How can you take responsibility for creating what it is that you want? And how can you, when you need to, take a step back and just rest for a second, because you can't do it all the time. That's what you need. You need that community. This is a little bit more of a chatty episode. This is more of a reflective episode, but I think it's an important episode. When the world feels on fire, you need to rely on your values. You need to make sure that your business is helping you live into those values that you say that you're living into, and you need to be surrounded by people who are going to remind you and keep you accountable to the values and the things that you said are important. You need to be surrounded by people that are going to help you and remind you to fill up your cup so that you can make sure that your corner of the world not as on fire as everything else. One of the things that I do with my clients all the time is help them to create the community for themselves. Help them to remind themselves that you deserve to breathe. You deserve to take a breath. You deserve to take time, but you also deserve to have a business that helps you to carry out this mission that you have, this vision that you have. So this is my short, quick little note for you. If you feel like everything is on fire and you're trying to still market and grow your business and you don't know how to do it, this is just my little note of encouragement for you to tap into your values, to surround yourself around people who are going to remind you about the importance of the work that you do, and to tap into how your business that you are growing can be part of the solution and not taking away from anything at all. It's actually helping and being a resource for yourself, your family, and your community. And if you ever need help or a reminder of how to do this and how what you're doing is not wasted, then I'd love to work with you. I'd love to do that. But the most important thing right now that I want to help you with is to remind you that you can take a break. It is okay to take a break when things are going haywire all around you. It is okay to take a break. It is okay to breathe. And it's also okay to remember and see that you can be part of the solution and your business can be part of that as well. Okay, y'all. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon.
If you want more marketing that works right in your inbox, head to the show notes and sign up for the email list. You'll be the first to know how you can work with me on mastering your marketing.